Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good riddance. We are channeling from one of our favorite places on earth. Now, we are a collective, as many of you have probably surmised. It's not just one individual. It's an amalgamation or collaboration with different energies to share what you all need to hear. And so we blend and we bend and we merge. So today we are up with our another on her property in Coyote overlooking Pedernal. And what she cannot see now in the earthly realm is how truly magical this place is. She knows how it makes her feel. But we are telling her that there is a healing element or component here that is magical, and that is why we wish for her to build some form of healing retreat. And not healing retreat like many of you think. Because when you think of a healing retreat, you think of services and goods and that kind of treatment. Whereas this would be a healing retreat where we would literally encourage you to go within because there's nothing else to do. You can walk around the property. You can pick your nose if you so want. You can pick flowers. You can hang in a hammock. You can walk down to the creek. You can explore the area because it's nature. It abounds here. You can look at the sky. You can look at the scenery. You can meditate on Pedernal. You can listen to the bumblebees that fly around here and who connect with humanity because they don't see too many humans up here. You can listen to the cows or watch the horses. You can observe the coyotes and the elk off yonder in the distance. It is healing because there is nothing to do and the land is magical. Our another heals differently when she is here now. She no longer needs to cry or sob or ask or query or yell or feel lost or angry or emotional. She now just sits. And we hold her. We simply cup her and allow her to be. Her mind is more at peace up here. She keeps asking us and we keep saying, nope. We want her to explore the stillness of her mind up here, where she thinks about nothing and just sees the eye candy all around her. So we ask you today in the Pause and Rest series, number 4, what does this mean for you? What does this mean to you? When you rest, what does that feel like? Not the pause, that's a different thing. But when you rest, does it feel good? Or does it feel off-putting? Does it cause anxiety? Does it create nervousness? Do you feel tension that you're not doing something? Well, if that is indeed what you feel or how you feel, we want you today to really observe that. Your busyness is your coping mechanism because you cannot and will not and do not stop. Because if you stop, you are forced to think and to feel. So instead, you tell yourself, I'm a workaholic, I am needed, I have to save, I have to do, whatever it is. And then you run around like chickens with their heads cut off. And so our question to you is, so how's that working for you? Does it make you feel good? Or does it just make you feel tired and busy? Do you ever get resentful because you feel like you're doing more than other people, or that they're not helping out as you would like to, or whatever it is, because you're so busy trying to complete all those tasks that you have set before you? Well, maybe your crankiness, your anger, your frustration, your tiredness is a message to you to slow the fuck down. We want you to pay attention to the clues and the cues. Go back to certain Aboriginal places about 200 years ago and remember in your cell. Your cells are connected to their cells because you are all one. So just close your eyes and ask to be shown what the Aboriginals felt within their cells. There was stressors. And we're asking you to think more along the equator where you don't have the harshness of the temperate climates, right? No freezing, where you have an abundance of food and energy supply and resources to build and whatnot, where you don't have to work so hard to stay alive. Well, those on the equator would be deemed lazy by your definition because they would just get up and go eat something, go visit with the family, sit under a chair, maybe go fishing, right? During the harvest time, yeah, it's a little busier, but that's kind of it. It's a slow-paced way of life that you would define as vacation, but let's be honest. Most of you go on vacation and you're still busy doing because you can't sit still. Well, what about those of you who come from the more, what we're going to call the Inuit people up in the northern and the southern hemispheres where it's colder? Well, you got to be considerably more resilient up there because in the summer months, which are relatively short, you must prepare for the winter months. So yeah, there are seasons up there where it is incredibly busy. But then in the winter months, it's quieter days. You sit with family indoors. You use the blubber from the whales and the sea creatures that must protect themselves from the cold. You use their skin for certain materials, right? You harvest the animals in the area who are well suited to stay warm and have thicker skin or fur or pelts to keep them warm. And so you use that up there. You've got oftentimes more wood and items that you can harvest for energy. You can create a different lifestyle. So yes, it is still more difficult to live up there, but better than what you as humanity have created. You guys are busy, let's be honest, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. You never stop. The human body was not designed for that level of activity. If you have X number of steps, for example, that you get to expend in a lifetime, well, you guys are ruining the quality of your life by using the stair stepper and running out of your steps early on in life. It's not literal. It's meant to be figurative. So the question is, why do you feel uncomfortable to pause? It is actually in your DNA imprint to pause more, to rest more, and to work less. You are meant to work more in spurts than in constancy. And why is it now that you don't have the luxury of that? Well, could it be because you've got capitalism, because you've got rent or mortgage to pay, or groceries that you have to pay, or utilities that you have to pay? In the olden days, you made do with what you found on the land, and you just lived simply and humbly. But you didn't have to work in order to pay for those items that sustain you. It was just around you. So for those of you who really strongly believe in capitalism in its current form, we just ask you to reassess and reinvent the wheel and find a way that is more compassionate and collaborative so that the least amongst you are protected, so that the most amongst you don't feel the need to take advantage of them and justify your cruel treatment because at least you're offering them employment. Well, the universe was not designed to operate this way. This is a man-made construct, and it's not working very well for humanity because you guys are struggling so much with your health issues. You think you have created a better wheel, and yet if you look at humanity and the quality of your life, not the quantity. Yeah, you may be living longer, but the quality of your life is less because you have lost the connection to one another and to the land because you no longer have to harvest the foods. You no longer have to fell the trees. You no longer have to plow the fields. You no longer have to do any of those things. It's just go to the store and shop and purchase. You have lost the connection to the sacredness of being alive. And it's not that you can't get there. It's that you don't want to get there. Because when many people speak of the sacredness of life, you think it can't be measured. If it can't be measured, it can't be true. So there is nothing sacred and holy. But we're telling you, if you just sit and do nothing and set the intention, I release everything that no longer serves me. Everything. And you just sit there and try to do nothing and allow us to come in. You will find that by surrendering that which you seek the most, which is love, to feel love within yourself, you will find it in the magical place, hidden deep within you, and not at the store, not at the gym, not in the body or experience of another human being, not even in looking at the sky or hiking in nature. It is hidden deep within you. And we encourage you all to surrender by allowing the pause to also lead to the rest, where you will work less, do less, even be less, and just sit. Sit, because many of you, even in your being, you are trying too hard. Pretend you're in a coma, maybe, where you just physically, in the human body, can't think, can't do, can't process, where a machine literally does everything to keep you alive. Be that little if you can. Be present by being nothingness. And then you will find the path back to your soul. It is found in the land. It is found in nature by being present with what was created by the universe and not by man, and in the sounds and in the cycles and in the seasons and in the sessions within which you find yourselves in life. Do not force hardships on you to make you shut down. Find it within your heart to just slow down consciously and become a new being today in Christ, because that is who you ultimately came to be. Christ consciousness, which is simply unconditional love in its presence and in its experience. Find it within you and stop seeking for it outside of yourselves, because you will continue to be disillusioned when the universe doesn't present itself in the form of others as you expect. It is hidden deep within you, and when you find it, You will no longer seek it outside of yourself. We love you. We bless you. We walk with you. And for those of you who invite us in, we actively participate in the manifestation process of your own blessed life. And so it is. Namaste.